news for MLB The Show 24 Road to the Show. They are adding a women path line to Road to the Show. It's going to be called Road to the Show, Women Pave Their Way. Now, it looks like, as you can see from this trailer that they released, clearly they're adding women models to Road to the Show. Now, I am curious how this is going to affect Diamond Dynasty. If you don't know, in the last couple of years, you've been able to take your Road to the Show character over to Diamond Dynasty as like a custom character that you could upgrade. I'm curious if this also rolls over to Diamond Dynasty as well. But so far, it looks like this is actually a pretty good addition to the game. They're trying to encapsulate another demographic of people. There's a lot of guys who play the game with sisters, daughters. They're trying to catch that kind of population and add them to the game. And I do think this overall is a really good idea for them to do. Not to mention, too, for a lot of you out there, this is going to be the one chance that you're actually going to be able to talk to a woman and play with a woman. So this is also another good addition for you, and you can continue this throughout the entire year of MLB The Show 24. There were a couple things also that they addressed in the blog associated with this trailer. We're going to talk about that. There's a couple key points that I want to point out in this trailer as well for Road to the Show as a mode itself. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the first thing, the draft combine. So as you can see here, paused at second 25, there's a big screen under Chase Field's logo that says Draft Combine. Now, this looks like a mode to Road to the Show that you're going to be doing before you get drafted to an MLB team. And although we're not 100% sure if it's specific to just the women's side of Road to the Show, this would be a really good addition to include to the regular Road to the Show as well. If you've played previous Road to the Show renditions before, typically all we see is just something along the lines of you choose a region, east, west, south, whatever. You would play 3 to 5 games, and then your base stats are determined off of what you did in those 3 to 5 games. This looks like it's going to be a lot more in detail, a lot more in depth. We might have to go through a whole combine with like mini games for like 40-yard dashes or anything like that. It's going to be interesting to see what exactly they have planned for this. But just in this clip alone, it is confirmed that there is going to be some sort of prospect side to things outside of just choosing a team and entering the league. So honing in on a later screenshot at 31 seconds of this trailer, we do see that this is actually a USA prospect team. So I do believe that there might be a certain way that they try to set things up where you have like an international prospect type of tournament even before you start the actual Road to the Show that could determine your draft order or whether or not you just sign with the team undrafted. One thing to also add to this is that it looks like you are able to have more than one woman in the league at a time for Road to the Show, as you can see in this clip. And if you watch the trailer, the player who is hitting hits a home run off the pitcher, and obviously both of these are women here, so it looks like you are able to add more than one woman into the league. I'm curious if this is again some sort of like draft combine situation, or if they just periodically get added into Road to the Show in this pathway. It's also possible that this other character besides the main character that you play as in this Road to the Show is this buddy character, Mia Lewis. It looks like this is going to be like kind of like a possible storyline that you follow rather than just like a typical Road to the Show. But it could be that other character as well, considering it's like a best friend type situation. It's possible they're on 2 different teams. You have some type of potential friendly rivalry, and you could roll from there. And maybe that's who that player is. It might be a different player that we just never seen before or anything like that. But I do think that would be kind of a cool idea to have. We've seen it with like 2K games and stuff like that, where you typically have like a rival from like early on in your career that you would then come up through the system with as well. So the Road to the Show that we are typically used to will still have all the same features, but it looks like a story specific to Women Pave Their Way is going to be in place. And honestly, it's a really good idea. I think this, again, I said this earlier in this video, that this kind of opens up the game to a lot more people. There's a lot of people who play this game who are either women themselves, their fathers with daughters, or brothers with sisters, that want them to play the game and kind of experience the same kind of experiences that they do playing MLB The Show. Obviously, a large part of our experience of this game, not only for MLB The Show, but also just for Road to the Show specifically, is trying to create an image of ourselves and then hit as many tanks as possible. And this is a really good way to add that for most women out there. So another really interesting thing that they mentioned towards the end of this blog is that they mentioned that there's different scenes to discover, and depending on which scenes you discover, your career path might actually change with each playthrough. Now, that is a really unique thing. I mean, I'm a big fan of single-player games, and those single-player games that kind of have, they call them non-linear storylines, where basically, like, your decisions matter kind of thing, and they influence, like, how the game ends. I think that's a really cool thing to have, and is really unique to sports games, because we really don't see that kind of intuition into this. Now, unfortunately, there are a lot of people on social media that do criticize this move, calling it woke or something along those lines. I don't think this is that kind of move from San Diego Studios. I do genuinely think that they are trying to expand the game and expand the game of baseball to other demographics. Softball is very closely related to baseball, and honestly, there's no better way to promote either sport than including both genders into this game. Again, I don't think this is any sort of like political move by them or anything like that, and I genuinely think that this is good for the health of the game. Also, keep in mind, for all the people complaining about no new features or anything like that, this is not finalized for Road to the Show, so this is not the only thing that we're going to be getting this year. March 7th, which is going to be this Thursday, we're going to get more information about franchise and Road to the Show, so all of the details will be released then. So if you're freaking out about that, please stop freaking out about it. It's really not that big of a deal. There are a lot more opportunities for SDS to come out and say, hey, this is what else we're adding besides this. But that is going to be all for today's video. I'm reporting these news as they come out, so if you have not subscribed to the channel or liked this video, please do so. Comment below what you think this is going to be for the long-term life of this game, if this is actually going to pull in new players or not. Let me know what you believe. And with less than 2 weeks away for MLB The Show 24, I cannot wait. There's a lot more content coming y'all's way. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I will catch you in the next one, and have a good day.